Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon White. So, in the last part, we once again defeated Sharon, and we definitely went through a whole lot of battles within Route 4. Now before we hand ourselves off to Nimbasa City, we're now going to be going to the Desert Resort. Now within the entranceway to the desert, to the actual resort itself, now you can still find Sandals, some Darumaka and Scraggies, but also this is where you can find and catch Dwebbles, and you can also find the cactus Pokemon of Gen 5, Maractus. Yeah, that's right. The cactus. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. The cactus Pokemon from Gen 5 that I absolutely also love in a Pokepark 2, especially when Maractus does a little animation for it. But anyways, now before we really get into the swing of things, yeah, that TM dig that we just got, by the end of the last part, yeah, I'm definitely giving it to my Sandile. Yeah, there was just no question about that. Cause now while Sandtube is good, yeah, especially if I'm taking a little bit chip damage over time, and Mudslap is good for lowering accuracy, but they're definitely not strong enough, especially for Sandile standards. So yeah, I needed my Sandile to learn Dig. Now while Sandile does get Dig by a level up, it's just that you do have to wait quite a long while before you even get to that move. So I'd say if you are using Sandile, definitely make him learn Dig like immediately. So yeah, but anyways, now let's see if I can find my Dwebble and Maractus here. Now before we actually go to the actual resort itself. Okay, so that's 2 Sandiles and 1 Darumaka so far. Alright, let's see. If we find one more Sandile, then we're done with here. Okay, let's see. It's probably gonna be Sandile again. Yep, I thought so. Yeah, but then that concludes our finding wild Pokemon within the entranceway to the Desert Resort. But however though, when we actually get to the actual main area of the resort, yeah, let's just say I actually will be getting a certain Pokemon from there. Yeah, but anyways, okay, now I have the sky, what he says. I'm a school kid. I'm a school kid. So I know this. Just like in caves, you could run into Pokemon almost anywhere in the desert. But they don't like hiding in the pale sand. If you walk there, you won't have to worry about battling. Well, when it comes to wild Pokemon, sure. But when it comes to regular trainers, yeah, that's something that you also have to watch out for if you don't want to do many battling. But anyways, here we are in the main area for Desert Resort. Now, as the Pokemon you can find here, now the only Pokemon that we saw that I just talked about in the entranceway, almost all of them show up here. Except for one, that being Scraggy. But Scraggy gets replaced by another Pokemon. And it's a Pokemon that I will talk about later. Oh, and speaking of which, yeah, now here's where we get to the introduction of Solosis. Now, this right here is a psychic type. And now Solosis, well, it may just look like a floating gel-like thing. But, however, Solosis, now the Solosis line can actually be pretty good, especially when it comes to its defenses. Yeah, and especially if they pull up moves like, you know, Reflect or Light Screen. So, now, and if you have a really good moveset for your Solosis, yeah, they can actually be really darn good. And I should definitely know because I actually use a Solosis, once. But however, it was not a mainline Pokemon game that I used it. That I actually utilized one. It was actually a fan game. Yeah, I think, it was actually in a Pokemon fan game. Then I actually used a Solosis once. And I gotta say, it was actually really darn good to use. Okay, never mind now. Now, before we get to our regular battling trainers on here, I definitely want to search for that Pokemon that I definitely want to catch. No, but anyways, at the very least, we still managed to find a Dwebble this time. So yeah, we can actually start getting one this time. Okay, Shockwave. Now, pretty sure this will not defeat you, considering that you obviously have Sturdy on you anyway. So, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Let me see if the Great Ball will work on you now. Because, well, even if it doesn't work, I can still weaken him more, so, yeah. And, there we go. Dwebble cut. Bring. Dwebble, the Rocket Pokemon. Yeah, Dwebble is definitely a Pokemon with a rocket that actually lives in. And if you definitely saw the anime, yeah, you definitely know how their shells can actually not only be made, but also be repaired as well too. So yeah, but anyways, okay, so yeah, Darumaka, I already have you, so I'm not gonna bother with that again. Okay, now where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Yeah, this may take a while to find, but hopefully I can find it very soon enough. No, it's just another Dwebble. Yeah, and I'm also hoping I can find, Maractus here too, because, yeah, this is actually the only location in the game where you can actually find, Maractus. Okay, let's see. Oh! There it is! Here we say hello to what is going to become my sixth teammate, Sigilyph! Yeah, that's right, everyone. This right here is going to be a Pokemon that yeah, that's right, everyone. This Sigilyph is going to be my final official team member. So, yeah. That's now Sigilyph here. Yeah, he definitely looks very odd looking now, doesn't he? Yeah, especially with all those colors and his wings and whatnot. Now, what was also odd is what I originally thought of this Pokemon. Now, back when this Pokemon was first introduced, before Black and White was even released, I actually thought, for some reason, in my head, I thought that Sigilyph was actually the evolved form of Unknown. Yeah, me and my stupid brain really thought that. Yeah, when I saw Sigilyph the first time. Yeah, but anyways, now we have Sigilyph-con. Sigilyph, the Avianoid Pokemon. Now, the Guardians of an ancient city. They use their psychic power to attack enemies that invade their territory. Yeah, so this right here is a Pokemon that we don't usually see all that much, but they definitely are Guardians, and they definitely will attack if you invade their territory. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, now, as I was saying, yeah, like I said, I originally thought that Sigilyph was the evolved form of Unknown. And the main reason why I thought that was because of it's because of where its eyeball was situated on, was actually placed. And yeah, cause on the top of Sigilyph's head where its eyeball is, yeah, it honestly just made me really automatically made me think of freaking Unknown. Yeah. Again, I have no idea what the hell was I even thinking back then. Yeah, I was really stupid to even think that. Especially even if it did evolve from a Pokemon that really does not get utilized all that much. And not to mention that, yeah, with a Pokemon that only has hidden power and it also has multiple other forms, yeah, how would it even evolve into a Sigilyph in the first place? Yeah, I was stupid back then. And now you may also be calling me stupid here because, yeah, I am once again going back to Castelia City so I could get my Sigilyph when Nimbasa City was actually closer this time. Well, considering that we're going to be meeting up with Professor Juniper once we actually get, when we actually get into Nimbasa City, like, immediately. So, yeah, obviously I did not want to do that yet. So, of course, once again, I had to take the long way back. And, yeah, so that's 2 trips I had to go back to, all the way back to Castelia City without a bike. Yeah, this is really something. But anyways, as you can see, yeah, now Sigilyph has definitely got some of a good moveset to start with. Yeah, especially Tailwind and Psybeam. But anyways, welcome to the team Sigilyph. Yeah, and I guess I should point this out too. The ability the special ability that Sigilyph usually gets, yeah, that being for Wonder Skin. Now, what that does is that it actually lowers the ability to be able to give the Pokemon a status condition. So yeah, sorry everyone. Now with Sigilyph, Now Sigilyph has less of a chance to be affected by it has less chances to be affected by status conditions, and I'd say that is definitely a good thing to have. Yeah, definitely a good thing to have on you. Now, and I guess I should say as well, considering that, yeah, we are once again just gonna be going back to the desert or resort again. Now, what I think about Maractus? Well, the only thing I really like about Maractus is, well, like I said, That animation that we get. Yeah, the animation that we get for a Poke Part 2. But I guess I should also say about Morantis is that, yeah, Morantis really enjoy music. Yeah, and especially when we saw Morantis the first time in the anime. Yeah, we had the Morantis trio that wanted to go on a musical performance. So yeah, as you can probably tell, Morantis really enjoys Morantis is definitely really known for its musical talents. But anyways, Kelsey, you have, oh wow, freaking Tranquil. Yeah. All right, so everyone. Now we get to the evolution of P Dove, Tranquil. Now Tranquil. Now, even though, as I said previously, I did use a P Dove during my first time playing this game, and while I did utilize the Tranquil, but I honestly forgot how well did I really use Tranquil. Considering, I don't exactly recall, like, how much time did I spend just training up, my P-Dove all the way up to its final, evolution. But I guess I should say as well, Tranquil, and I guess I should say about the Pokemon itself, Tranquil. Yeah, I guess it is quite alright for me, I guess. Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, Tranquil isn't really all that special to me. No, although in the anime, we definitely saw plenty of Tranquils. Especially during the early portions of the anime, where Trip had a Tranquil, Ash's P-Dove evolved into Tranquil, and then we have that one episode where we saw a whole flock of Tranquils. And we definitely saw Tranquil being utilized at least a few times during some of the tournaments with it in the anime. So yeah, Tranquil definitely got utilized quite a lot within the Gen 5 anime. But then after that, yeah, Tranquil didn't really get to be utilized all that much after that. Yeah, not even. And I guess P-Dove was utilized only like sometimes. Then as for its final evolution, can't really say the same for that one either. But anyways everyone, as you can see, yeah, even without switching, yeah, my Sigilyph can definitely handle on its own for the most part. Yeah, and especially with it already going up to level 21, and also learning the move Air Cutter. So yeah, we are definitely getting a very good use out of it. So yeah, we are definitely gonna get ourselves a very good use out of it. Yeah, Sigilyph is definitely gonna be a very valuable asset to the team. Oh yeah, that's right. Now within the Desert Resort, yeah, as you saw before, not only do we, now we managed to find the black glasses, but we also got the soft sand from that guy that we just talked to. Yeah, 2 items that can definitely help out my Sandile. Yeah, 2 very useful items for Sandile in one location. Yeah, how often do you get that? 2 very good items for just one Pokemon in one location. How often do you see that? Oh wow, alright, here we go. Now we get, and now we get, oh yeah, now we have now we have the introduction to, the counterpart of Solosis being called Gothita. Now, Gothita, I would say it is definitely more of a, now, I would say Gothita is definitely the more, special attacker, while as I said before, Solosis, yeah, it's just, yeah, Solosis is more about defenses than anything. But Gothita is definitely more on the attack side of things. And I guess I should point out about now as for Gothita as a Pokemon, now when it comes to Gothita alone, definitely got utilized. It has definitely gotten utilized quite a lot. Yeah, it is definitely gotten utilized quite a bit in the anime. Yeah, and especially now especially when we got that one episode where Gothita was essentially in charge of its trainer. Yeah, it was always given its trainer's orders. Yeah, considering that, yeah, that Gothita was just extremely petty and essentially wanted everything that it ever wanted. And then we had one Gothita that we saw in the Kalos anime, utilized by one of Serena's rivals. During that series. So yeah, Gothita was definitely utilized for quite a bit in the anime. Now, as for what I think about Gothita overall, I haven't really gotten to really utilize Gothita really, and I honestly still have no plans to really utilize a Gothita. Yeah, I never really got around to really thinking that I ever really wanted to utilize a Gothita. But anyways, I did with that said, folks. I think I've done more than my fair share for this part. Yeah, and so we're gonna continue on for the Desert Resort for the next part. And so to then, I'll see you guys next time.